Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Star Wars Rebels Season 3, episode... oh, crud, there goes the music. Episode something. 8, Iron Squadron.
Oh, it's 8? Oh, it's 8. I thought it was 7. My bad.
It's 8. Iron Squadron. I'm your host, Cleo. With me, I have John and Sam. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Been having all the problems. Anyway. So okay. This episode started off, and almost the first sentence they said was we got a tip from Fulcrum, and I was just like, who's Fulcrum?
I know. I was
Is
like, nobody can have that but Ahsoka. It doesn't feel the same to me.
Yeah, I know. But it's is it Hans? Not Hans. He's not from Frozen. He's not from Frozen. Is Callus.
Agent Callus.
Okay, we're close to letting it go, but not quite. It's not Frozen. Yeah. It's all good.
Oh man, I want it to be him.
You think? I mean, that's a definite possibility. In general, do you if you think that they will show Han Solo in Rebels is a good question in and of itself. So.
Yeah, I meant Agent Callus, because when I look at Agent Callus, all I can see is Hans.
Oh, okay.
Hans from Frozen.
But you mean the animation and the way he looks with those mutton chops?
Yes.
I got you. Okay, yes. Okay, that's pop. Yeah, it could be Agent Callus. I kind of like that for sure. So yeah.
Because the first time we had a dealing with the new Fulcrum was the episode where Sabine goes undercover in the academy and Callus shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And helps them. So
to pay his debt to Zeb.
Exactly.
So.
No, I think he's also got his doubts about the Empire. So maybe he is every once in a while being Fulcrum and saying, hey, there's a thing that I don't agree with. Maybe you should stop it.
Not necessarily agree with, but he strikes me as somebody who's very much, he's still of the analytical variety. We don't know enough of his backstory to say otherwise, but I think he's not, so like I was saying the last time we brought it up, is that he's not somebody completely devoid of any kind of honor or moral system. And once you're rid of that, that's when you can kind of turn your head and just look the other way towards whatever transgressions the Empire is committing. He's not quite there yet, because there was a sense of honor in the sense of when he was trapped with Zeb and he wasn't willing to kill him, the fact that he was willing to keep him alive, he just had that sense of honor, or just that sense of an eye for an eye kind of thing. And I feel if it was anybody else, maybe he wouldn't still have that, or he wouldn't still have that sense of there's still a little bit of morality left within him, so maybe there's something to be said about him going against the Empire's interest, because little by little that kind of all gets seeped out of you as the longer you work for the Empire. And I think he might be able to, or might be starting to see those cracks within the Empire, because that's what's going to happen inevitably if you stay there too long. So
yeah, if you're not totally soulless,
evil, like Palpatine or Vader,
or some blue man we may or may not be in this episode.
Exactly.
Or Thrawn.
Thrawn is more calculating, but yes, same thing.
Mm-hmm. He's really almost like a machine, honestly.
Yeah, no, he's malignant to the last detail. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't like Constantine very much, does he?
No, he doesn't. John, when we watched the episode, you brought up, is he trying to get him killed? And I was like, he might be. He might be purposefully trying to get him killed.
I mean, seriously. He did almost die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought he was dead. Honestly.
Yeah.
They blew the shit out of his, was he in a light cruiser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what Sabine said, light cruiser. Because he was like, it's a Star Destroyer. She's like, no.
Oh, precious tiny children.
let me sit here and crush your dreams. I'm sure we'll get to that later, but she's like,
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
You know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the Iron Squadron, which I don't know how a squadron is a single ship, they have. It seems like they have kind of been protecting this planet and been, chilling out in space and sniping, Imperial transports that come through. So like all their skirmishes have been with transports that don't really have guns and
Well,
the crazy
yeah,
stuff.
the Gazanti cruisers have like a turret
Yeah.
and some TIE fighters.
Mm-hmm.
To be exact, 4 TIE fighters.
Yeah.
Which a YT-2400 can make very quick work of. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised they were having a grand old time.
Yeah, they're really cocky. And they, to be fair, the light cruiser is in a similar shape as the Star Destroyers, but, definitely not Star Destroyer.
No.
No, child.
It's a little cute little.
It's like Starcry's. I was gonna say, Star Destroyer. I feel like it's like. Didn't Sabine say it like 6 times that, or
10 times.
just infinite? Yeah.
10 times that size.
Way bigger. It's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So the light cruisers are called the Arcticans class cruiser, for whatever it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the equivalent of like the Tantive, like the CR-90 that the Rebels use. Like they're not that big. So, it's a little flash in the pan compared to what like the Imperials actually have. I mean, they're decent ships, but that's why like Constantine was taken aback. He's like, I only got one.
A single ship?
What one? Because this, I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, it's right. The Iron Squadron is a single ship, and they send a single ship after it. So I mean,
Granted, it's a much bigger ship, but still.
Yeah. It's true. I like the 3 in the Iron Squadron. Should have written all their names down. That would have been really smart of me.
I don't remember them either. They're adorable.
I know Mark.
Sato's nephew.
Yeah.
I only remember him.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, they're adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that they were trying to have that connectivity of like they're kind of kids or around that age, and like Ezra's probably around their age, and he's trying to convince them like, no. He's like, yes, I understand you want to fight the good fight. You got to fight the good fight another day and fight smart for today. So, but they weren't really listening. He's like, no, trust me. I know. I've been doing this a little bit longer, even though I'm probably the same age as you. So trust me on this one. So,
Yeah.
But I do like that, and maybe, Christina, you were going to get to this, is that he, like, nudged Sabine. She just kind of went along with the lie, which was smart. And Hera could tell that they were lying, but she let him do it anyway, which, again, just stands to the understanding they have in between one another, etc. So, but just also she wanted to give them another shot to just do what they thought was the right thing, and in addition to making sure that they were going to get back safely. So I liked all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Sabine's like, huh? What? Oh yeah, totally.
Oh yeah. Chopper went right along with the lie too, which normally he'd be a little shit, but he wasn't. He was like, yeah, sure. Great.
I'm sure his exact words were like, yeah, whatever the fuck, let's just get this over with.
yeah, fine. Okay, fine. I'll go along with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cute.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was a good moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of Chopper, I really liked his interactions with the Iron Squadron's droid, R3.
R3, he's like, well...
Can I tell you something?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, John.
He is one number off from R3A2. And that's so upsetting.
Oh.
He is R3A3. Man, is he so close. All right, there's a reason that I'm sad a little bit, because
Okay.
R3A2 is from the Star Wars X-Wing tabletop game that I play. And he is the most hilarious droid on the planet, in that all he does is stress out pilots. And I was really hoping this would be him.
He's the stress bot?
Not. Yeah,
That's a
R3A2 is the stress bot. R3A3 is the asshole who won't let Chopper fix things. So it's close, but, you know, not quite what I wanted. But hey, you know, droid fights are best fights.
Yeah, I was going to say close enough. Can't always get what you want, as they say.
Well, this also wasn't the Outrider that they were in, so I can't have nice things,
true.
I guess, in this episode.
No. No, we can't have nice things.
This is true.
Well,
oh, no, go on.
I was going to say, like, they actually really changed the design a lot of the 2400 in this episode. It looks... They definitely, like, took a lot of liberties with it, because it's, like, not quite what the original design was for it. So...
Really?
They did make it a little... Yeah, it's pretty different. I mean, in fact, if you... Like, the toy I used to have is different from, like, the one in the video game, Shadows of the Empire, that Dash Rendar used.
Yeah. Which
is different than the X-Wing version, which is also different from the show. So there's, like, 4 different, like, 2400 models floating around. But I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
They made it kind of cool looking. They kind of streamlined it a little bit, which I kind of like. A little less clunky looking. So... Good ship design, guys. You did it.
Yeah. So, John, maybe you can answer this, but do they not have, like, heavy weapons on that ship? Because they kept dropping explosive cargo containers.
That thing's supposed to have... Well, I mean, stock? No.
Okay.
Dash Rendar's Outrider had, like, very heavy laser cannons mounted on the top and bottom, but stock, no, I don't think it does have very heavy weapons. It's supposed to have missile, like, ordnance tubes, but I doubt those kids could afford missiles at that point.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say probably stocking missiles is not their priority.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've modified it in any way, because, you know, it is, like the Ghost and, like, the Millennium Falcon, a freighter.
Yeah, not meant for that kind of heavy combat.
They said YT model freighter, and I was like, oh... Well,
right. I mean, and like the Millennium Falcon, Han modded a lot, so it could fight. Like Hera put guns on the Ghost. The Ghost is not supposed to have guns.
Made a special modifications myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So I don't know if they've done anything to the ship because like it's not even unclear. Like, did they even mention who the ship originally belonged to? Like, or is it just because I can't believe it was like just Mark and his friends.
It might have
been
his father.
They made mention of his father, but I don't know if it was the connection to the ship or what, because at that point, General Sato was like, oh, wait, I know, you know, like, that's when we were getting the connection as to who it was, but I don't know if it was because of the system they were in or because of the ship they were using, but that's a good thing to bring up, and I should have been paying more attention to that specifically, but, yeah.
I know Sato mentioned his brother in the context of he fought and died at the hands of the Empire.
Yeah.
But not in connection to this ship, so... And I don't think that Mart said anything connecting his father to the ship either, so we don't actually know, I think, whether or not.
But maybe now that they've kind of joined the crew, they can make it good.
Yeah.
I don't know. At least fix the damn thing. It's falling apart at the seams.
Oh my god, they walk...
I know.
They walk onto that ship and there's just steam coming out of pipes and Sabina's like, what is this pile of trash?
Talk about a hunk of junk.
Yeah.
That's it. What a piece of junk. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like R2's like, not R2, I'm sorry. Chopper is like, oh, step back, I got this. And R3's like, you want to go? Don't touch my ship.
R3.
R3, sorry.
That's okay.
Don't touch my ship.
What? Right?
You what?
Come at me, bruh. This is my ship.
Yeah, and even like the crew, I found their names, John and Guti.
Oh, there you go, because I wouldn't have remembered.
Yeah, I got you. I looked it up. They were like, no, this is how we want the ship to be. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And even like when they got the drive, the hyperdrive fixed, there wasn't any power.
I know. Well, no, because he was draining it to make it go,
Yeah.
But yes, and
To the
I love how
shields.
Sabine and Chopper came out and fixed it in 2 seconds. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, just give them a chance. They'll make it work. So I liked that, but of course, yes, the power's been rerouted to other means at that moment. So
it's just it was honestly they come in, they find these kids, and I like that Zeb was like, it's a ship full of Ezras, God help us.
I laughed so hard at that, and I was like, "Yep, exactly." So I loved that personally. I was like, "Yep, pretty much."
I mean, luckily they kind of learned their lesson a little faster than Ezra, so there was that at least.
Except for Mark, because he was being the stubborn one. There's always one stubborn one, as per usual, and he's just floating around in space, and oh god, and what's gonna happen? And that was actually, as much as we were like, for me personally, I was like kind of disappointed that Thrawn didn't do more, but he proved his point, and General Sato admitted it to him. He said, yes, you made your point. I came, as you had predicted. I'm here. Kind of blah, blah, blah. He didn't say it in so many words, but he said, I'm here to save my nephew. And it was like, oh, no. So he knows their weakness, and he admitted it. So, but the fact that I felt like in that moment the Alliance is recognizing that they know the weakness, maybe they can account for that the next go around, but I don't know. So,
and I mean, they've kind of known their weakness for a while, and
yeah, but if they keep playing into it, it's how they are.
Yeah. How many times
they want to do the right thing, and like the wanting to do the right thing to protect people around them, and it's like that's something that they can't not do. So I don't know, it's gonna be difficult.
And there's like this anxiety I have in the back of my mind whenever I'm watching any episode with Thrawn, where it's like, when is it gonna be the time where he stops testing and he just ruins everybody's day? Like, when is that gonna be?
I keep waiting for that too. I was like, what are you doing? What are you trying to prove? What are you saving for later? I'm afraid of what you're saving for later. It's gonna be bad. So you keep waiting for that as well.
Yeah, because we've seen how many times has he tested them, and how many, how much has he gathered information-wise. We know he's got a lot.
Yeah.
What is he waiting for?
Yeah, well, that's what makes me scared for later, as it does for you, Christina. It's just like, he's
going
to use these moments of opportunity.
He basically gave Commander Sato the kiss of death this episode. I mean, I am thoroughly convinced at this point that Sato is not making it through the end of the season. So I feel like he was, he tested the Rebels crew, like the Ghost crew, but he never really got to test Sato.
No, you're right, not Sato personally. He's tested Phoenix Home before, though. Not Sato specifically.
But he needs to draw out Sato because he is the glue that holds this whole operation together. So he knows that Sato has a weakness now, and he's, again, just gathering information like he normally does. And that's why I think Sato's not going to make it to the end of this, because he's going to put him in a place where it's, it's me or them, and Sato's going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, it's like he's, going to exploit that weakness, whatever it is that he's going to find later on, number one. Number two, you can keep making the point of, both for the condition of, this show and also Rogue One. Have we ever heard of these people going forwards in the films or whatever the Star Wars? No. So it's very likely that they won't make it out of here alive. So,
well, if we go by that logic, every member of the Ghost crew is also boned.
And I'm not firmly committed to that quite yet. But the more that comes up, I'm just like, I don't know. But I don't feel like they would do away with everybody quite so brutally and or quickly, because they could have use later on. And for the simple fact of look at Obi-Wan, who went into hiding, etc., etc., etc. Even though that was planned and we knew it, etc. Whatever. Yeah. But I don't feel like they're gonna just do away with everybody that easily. But still, it makes me still keep considering that in the back of my mind. Wait a minute. We don't really know what happened to these people, what happened to them. So I'm curious about that specifically.
Well, that's exactly what I think has happened to Ahsoka, where she's come to this that encounter with Vader, and she's gonna go meditate for a couple of years, you know.
I know. Oh God. And that's why I'm glad that, you can go back and forth on that one specifically, but like I was like, no, there's just and that's why I don't think personally that she's dead. There's just too much still lingering there, but at some point something has to come to a head officially. I don't know. I don't think that last thing that we saw was a good resolution specifically. So anyway, but that's off for another tangent. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what else to say about this episode.
I will say personally, because I felt like they've been on a really good roll pace-wise as far as episodes concerned. This is the first one. Even though it was a well-constructed episode in of itself, I felt this was the first episode where I felt like, okay, like I was actually a little bit bored in certain parts. And even though I felt like later on it'll probably play on to key themes about like what we were all talking about, the negotiation tactics of like the meaningfulness, about the exploitation, about what Thrawn and his expectations of the rebellion, I just felt like ultimately I was like, all right, I was still kind of like, because in any other episode we've seen so far, even if it's not like a main plot point, there's still character building in the background, and we can see that because it's of our main cast of characters, and there's character building in there. I just, there was and there wasn't here. Ezra gets a chance to kind of step up into, just in the sense of remembering what it's like to be afraid and to be a kid and to step off and to be more individualistic and kind of taking that first step into adult. And he's trying to convince these three kids who are around the same age as him to make the right decision, to realize like, listen, I understand you want to fight for what's right, but you gotta, fight smart and live another day kind of thing. And I think that translated well enough, but that was, I just felt like overall, amongst other things, it was just a little bit of a slower episode than the other ones. All the other ones have had either really like story that hits you over the head or character development that does the same thing. And this was the only one I was kind of like, all right, I'm a little bit bored with this. So that was just me personally though.
And Jesus, those kids have to like get some schooling or something, because they said some stupid shit where it's like,
they did, but like not unlike any other kid was saying, their heart was in the right place. I don't know. We've seen other kids say stupider shit, so I was okay with it. And they turned on a dime pretty quickly, so I was like, all right, they're getting it quick enough. That's fine. That's fine by me. If they're just like sitting there being super, super stubborn, I'm like, you're a lost cause. Why are we even trying with it? Come on. We ain't got time for this.
Yeah.
Well, they definitely they've definitely learned what a Star Destroyer is. That's their first lesson.
Yep. That's
it.
Yeah, and like Thrawn could have just turned on the tractor beams, and that would have been the end of them.
Yeah.
So, they have to know that he's not going to get away.
Draw Sato out, and he did. So he made, he accomplished his goal. So if anything for that, that in itself was worth it. There was like more of the chess game going on here, and that was played out here. But that was the only thing that I felt like was like, oh, there's a little bit of a power play going on here. But other than that, I felt like I was a little bit, again, with everything else, a little bit bored. So
yeah, I mean, Sato definitely knows, what happened, that he got him. So yeah. Next episode is called I can't say that. What? Winkathu job? Winkathu job?
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me.
The Rebels team with a pair of unscrupulous pirates. The Rebels team with a pair of unscrupulous pirates to salvage a freighter full of weapons for the rebellion. But the mission ends up being far more dangerous than anticipated. Hanzo.
Hondo always makes things bad.
Hondo,
yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, Hondo, great to see you. God damn it.
Yeah.
Like in the same breath.
But at least they know what to expect. They know what they're doing with it. It's like we're past all the pretenses. That's what I appreciate about him at this point. Like,
Yeah.
because he's he's gone from series to series, and it's like they have to get used to /know how to interact with him. They already know that. It's all good. So they can just use him at what point, whatever they think they can. So it's fine by me.
Yeah. It's always shenanigans with him. Always.
I know.
It's gonna be interesting. So if you guys don't have anything else to say,
That's it for me.
John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at No More on Twitter.
Sam, where can they find you?
You all can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at like Leia. Woohoo! Come look at my blog on YouTube. Woo! It's under Granger Girl.
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, Pinterest, and YouTube, and you can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts on some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next time, bye guys.
Bye.
Oh, clicking the wrong thing.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. We would have just had a very abrupt ending.
We're here longer than we needed to be.